What up? Jeff here with all my ICP Renegades. And today we're going to talk about a few different things. What is happening right now with the internet computer, ICP, and we're going to do like a long-term price prediction for 2025 now that the SEC case has been brought against Coinbase, but with the win of Ripple also saying that XRP is not a security on the secondary market. We're going to do a revised 2025 price prediction with my cat going crazy in the background. I was kind of tired this morning. I was like, man, what am I going to make a video? And then it just comes together. So we're going to talk about a few things. How is everybody doing this morning? Good morning. Don't shield Jerry Banfield live. What the heck? That's kind of funny because Jerry Banfield, he does a lot of cool videos and he has a nice amount of subscribers too. So that helps bring more attention to the internet computer, which I like. So anybody who's positive for the space like that, like Jerry Banfield, I welcome him into the ICP community. And there are bad people in the space, and I'm not going to name names, but there are a few bad actors in the ICP space. But most of those they get drawn and quartered in the bear market, so we don't have to worry about most of that. I do want to make an announcement because I did do a giveaway on Twitter. We're giving away 3 Peppy passes that will be handed out and distributed later today. If you go check my Twitter, you can see what that's about, and you can actually still go participate in that until probably about a couple hours from now. Hey, bro. So, yeah, good night from your side. Okay, so let's get into some stuff. Sorry, my cat is like tearing down the blinds over here. So, let me just share my screen with you guys. And I do want to first look at a couple things that Definity tweeted out today, because this is kind of exciting because we are doing our own game and hopefully have like a DApp or some way to actually bring value to the internet computer. So this is very important to see the new grantees, especially on the developer side of things. Bro. He goes crazy 2 times a day, one when I make videos and one when I sleep early in the morning. So I do want to talk about this because the developer grant program at Definity is the best among all of the grant programs. They not only do a developer, but they do a community grant, which helps build the community. And I think more blockchains should follow in the footsteps of Definity on that. So there are exciting updates from the internet computer realm this week. Meet our newest ICP Dev Grant awardees. Explore their innovative dApps and don't forget to apply for a developer grant. And you can do it right here. I will link this. I mean, just in case any of you even want to just go and take a look at it. Hey, just forfeit my guys here. Cool. About to chainsaw and cut some wood. Yeah, got to stock up for the winter, bro. So let's get back into this here. You can look at the developer grant through this tweet. So these are the new awardees. Zokspe lets businesses accept 1,000 plus currencies from 17 blockchains, integrating ICRC1 into their service, Zoksh.com. So CBindex Global provides on-chain crypto investment and asset management with a copy investing feature on ICP. So this is pretty cool to be the core of a trustless society used with canister smart contracts. Awesome. Love that. Loca mining. Oh, this is really cool because we're Bitcoin renegades over here too. Bitcoin's the big dog, but ICP is definitely my top altcoin aside Ethereum, for sure. And it's integrated with both of those now, so it's great. Loca mining connects Bitcoin miners with energy providers and end users using CKBTC for rewards distribution and ICP NFTs for mining contracts. That is really cool that they are giving rewards in CKBTC now. Loca mining, that's genius. Let's follow them. I like that a lot. This needs to be seen. And you obviously we can go into this because I want to look more into this right now because this looks really cool. So freshly minted Bitcoin at discounted rate. Fractional Bitcoin mining contract collateralized on chain, 1-for-1 by Bitcoin. Get your sats daily without the risk of a centralized party. Let's see what this is. You could try beta here. And you can look at that at the tweet that I posted in here. Did I press? Oh, I didn't press send. I always forget to do that. Okay, so let's check out. I'm not 100% sure what this is. Let me. How do I get rid of this part? Oh, just see what this is. Okay, you could get early access. That's pretty cool. Like that. I'm probably not going to do that right now, but I don't have a Bitcoin miner, so there's no way that I can interact with that, but that's cool. I think a lot of people will benefit from this, like miners, people interested in mining, because it uses NFTs for the contract. So the contract is binding. We'll say that, because there's no changing a contract in a smart contract after it is deployed, right? You can't go in and change the contract. It's an NFT. It's minted. It's on the blockchain forever. So that's pretty cool. So Uncensored Greats, a Web2 app for chatting with top authors, is transitioning its infrastructure to ICP. Uncensoredgreats.com. And then Pato Labs is a decentralized credit protocol using cryptographic methods to verify off-chain web data. That is pretty cool. It's using traditional Web 2 services on Web 3 using cryptography. That's really cool. ZK attestation protocol. Attestation protocol. That's a great word. I'm giving them a like just for that. But this is pretty cool what they're doing as well. I just think they're doing huge things over here. Like Dfinity, this is collaboration. Like Dfinity grant program is like just collaborating with developers, right? And these developers are bringing in Web 2 services, they're bringing in other Web 3 services, and it can all be done on the Internet Computer blockchain. It's pretty cool. So Maps Live is a decentralized, and this is another one I really like. It's a decentralized game turning electric vehicle charging status, gas prices, and mapping into a community-driven adventure, maps.live. And then RelinD XYZ is a blockchain-based scoring protocol for a trustworthy digital identity layer, RelinD.xyz. So I'd like to see more about that, but that just looks like a picture. Yeah, just a picture. That's what I thought. No link there. But you can go right here. Let's see what this is. Relinked your digital identity to Web 3. So these guys are like, they just launched their developer grant. They already have the shell of what they need. And basically these are all new grantees, right? So this is all work in progress, but it looks like they already have a lot of their stuff done. And it looks like you can link your digital ID. Okay, so it's like a social media link on Web3 where you can link all of your stuff with crypto. That looks like Ethereum. Wow, this is pretty interesting. Because now you're connecting your social medias with the blockchain and you can move money. You can do that on Twitter too, but you have to trust Twitter, right? That your money's safe. And it's a pretty good bet that your money's safe on Twitter, but there could be a hack. There could be, something else. But on the blockchain, there would be no possible way. And Twitter does do blockchain tips too. So that's safe unless they're using a bridge. I don't know exactly how that payment service works. If there's a third-party bridge, then that is an issue. So this would solve that issue. Yeah, and so that's pretty cool. I think this is one of my favorites so far. But I mean, they're all great, so it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. But I just really like this one. I'd like to see where they're going to go. So let's go to about. Helps real humans, oh, but not bots, great, to leverage their achievements, reputation by creating a trustworthy digital identity profiles with trust scores, verifiable credentials, and experience. I shredded that. By creating a trustworthy digital identity profiles with trust scores, verifiable credentials, and experience. So identity exists across numerous dimensions. We connect them. Web 3, Web 2. So you'll have full control over your personal data, trusted on-chain reputation via scores, identity badges issuance and verification, link in bio for content distribution and networking across Web 2 and Web 3. And then fair airdrops too. One person equals one drop. ID protocols and credentials supported. Okay. Powered by Polygon. Look at that. Polygon is on there. Lens Protocol, Ceramic Network, Gitcoin Passport, Biconomy, Web3 off. Where's Internet Computer? Probably going to be there soon. Soonest. Lunchtime soonest. So that's pretty cool. Pretty good stuff there. So Maps Live too. That is if you have like a Tesla, you could possibly even get paid. Wow, gas prices, mapping into a community-driven adventure. That sounds pretty cool too. Powering your sustainable journey. There's a wait list you can join. Real-time data. Maps provides the most recent information on EV charging stations, ensuring users have access to the most current data for their travels. So that's pretty awesome. Data ownership, seamless integration. Maps seamlessly integrates charging information into the navigation experience so you can make informed decisions about your journey. And they also reward users for contributing accurate data, transforming the act of reporting into an engaging and rewarding experience. This encourages ongoing community engagement and information sharing. So that's pretty cool. Why Maps? Looks pretty easy. You probably just need a QR code or something. The heart of Maps is its vibrant and engaged user community. By incentivizing users to actively participate in data reporting, we create a network of contributors dedicated to maintaining the accuracy of travel information. The community-driven approach fosters trust and ensures that the data shared within the app is consistently dependable. So real-time data gathering, a lady pointing to her phone and car, data ownership and transparency. Okay, that's all pretty awesome. So user-friendly navigation. Nice. So that will help you on your journeys. That's awesome. All right. So now talking about the Bitcoin and Ethereum integration, there is a space, and I do want you guys to check this out, because we need to stay informed on when that Ethereum integration is going live. Like they're already in beta, they're doing tests and all that, and there's already CK Sepolia F, so that's pretty cool. So this is going to be happening October 26th at 6:30 a.m. I believe that's my time. Yeah, it looks like that's my time, which is Pacific Standard Time. So depending where you are on the world, it might say something different for you. But if it says the same thing, then you're going to have to kind of set the reminder. Then it'll remind you when it goes live. Pretty simple. A lot is happening in the space of Ethereum and the internet computer. Join leaders from Dfinity and Bitfinity Net for updates and peeks into the future. This is a great space for anyone interested in a multi-coin world. And so this is just the beginning. We already did, you know, CK Bitcoin, and you see how they're using mining contracts now in CK Bitcoin. And this is going to open so many doors for Bitcoin and Ethereum, because now you can interact with smart contracts on Bitcoin through the internet computer, which Bitcoin does not have smart contracts. So, and you don't have to wrap it up. The only other way that you can use Bitcoin in a smart contract is to wrap it up and put it on Ethereum. But then there's a third-party bridge, and you have to trust that they are going to keep your money safe and that you're not going to be hacked. So this is the future of multi-chain, multi-coin, the multi-coin world. That's what's going to be, you know, the future. So remind yourself on this, listen to this space, go join. If you have questions, they might even let you speak, who knows. Get your voice heard, at least get over there and listen and see what's going on. So, all right, now into what is happening. We found out what's happening with the fundamentals of the internet computer right now, like the developing, what's happening with the project right now. What the heck is happening with the price? Well, if we look at the week, Hex, I would never own that coin, not even for a 75% gain. Solana's up 24%. Bitcoin Gold is up whatever, BSV 57%. Pulse Chain, gosh, why are all these scam coins up so much? Bitcoin Cash though up 12%. Render up 15%. Chili's up a little bit, 6%. Mina up 7%. TRX 6.9%. I always keep my eye on Tron. That it's been around for a long time, and I've made money off TRX. So Aptos 5.2. Internet Computer is up 4% this week. So what has happened? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going sideways? Why do we see all of these scam coins pumping? Well, I don't trust it. These are not, but I mean, this one's been around for a long time. It's just a hard fork, but some of these other ones I just don't get. XEC, I think that's the old Bitcoin Cash ABC, if I'm correct. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the old Bitcoin Cash ABC. NFT coin, never heard of that. Sheeb is only up 0.8%. So those are the crypto bubbles. But I did want to point out that ICP is only up 4%. A lot of these cryptos that are long-term, Cardano's only up 1%, right? BNB 3.4. These aren't bad. They're not in the red, right? Where Algo, there's no reason Algo needs to be in the red. CRV, there was some BS going on with that one, so that I'm surprised it's not down more than that. But there's a lot of different, Ethereum up 4.2%. Where's Bitcoin? I don't even see where Bitcoin, it might just be not on here. Oh, there it is, 10%. 10%. EOS 1.4, that's another crypto that I've messed with for a long time. BitTorrent, that's a TRX coin. Ape, nah, I wouldn't even ape into that. So a lot of these are just sideways right now. So let's look at this. The Fear and Greed Index. Okay, this kind of tells us the psychology of the market. This lets us know the mental state of most traders in the market. This is a very good indicator of how people are feeling. When people are bearish, there tends to be no selling pressure at that point, right? They sell a bunch, and then there gets to be a point after that, after all the selling happens, the bearishness starts, then it goes and it dwindles away, right? And you can kind of see how that works. From last month to neutral, we were kind of going, hey, you know, we might be able to recover here. Then last week and the weeks before, the fear comes in, right? So you see it drop from 47 to 44. Then it bottoms out at 44, right? Because all of that selling pressure ends up going away because you can only sell so much. The psychology of the market, let's get bearish, going from neutral to fear. People are getting fearful. then you see a recovery, yes, yesterday, earlier this week, or whatever, because of that initial $30,000 pump, which a wick followed by a candle that closes like Bitcoin did, above or around that same area. That is bullish momentum, because you failed to stay at that level the first time. It drops back down, then you go sideways for a minute, kind of make people think, well, what the heck happened? Is that just like a temporary wick? And then it goes up, and the candle will close above that level. Then we start moving up. You see, we get to a bottom here. Things, we get that fake pump, things start to get better. That means the selling pressure is starting to dwindle and the buying pressure comes back. Then we move up. And if we continue moving, if we do close that candle up that way, you're going to see this possibly even move from neutral over here to greed. And then we can start pumping. If Bitcoin gets above $32,500, I am looking for another move pretty soon after that, up to about 33.8. I was thinking for Bitcoin. If that happens, then we have definite bullish momentum. If we can break out of that, then we break all previous resistance, going back even last month. When or maybe even a couple months ago, whenever that was that we touched that 33. It might have been several months ago. I'm just going by memory here. So I do want to look at this. The live ICP price summary. ICP's current price is $3.13 with a 24-hour trading volume of $17,500,000. ICP is up 4.32% in the last 24 hours. Now that's cool. The thing is, it's super volatile right now. You can make money on the volatility. It is up 4% this week, but if we go and we look at the day, it's up 3.9%. That means that the volatility can make you money. It goes down to 280, you buy it. It goes up to 320, you sell it. It goes back down to 290, you buy in. And the second time I would buy in for a longer period. The first time, that it goes down like that, it hits that support level. You want to get in at that price. At 280 or wherever it went, 285, because the chances of it having at least one bounce off of that level, even if it is going to break it, unless there's some crazy news that happens, you're gonna break that level. You're not gonna break that level the first time, most likely. Then if you hit it again, the second time I would buy and maybe have a little portion of it, for a quick trade, but most of it I would be accumulating. Dollar cost averaging in at that price. And maybe the second time I would put a little bit less in there, because we did bounce off it a second time and we went back up. So you could have made money twice off of that. It is actually number 33 by market cap, and this is on Bybit. I don't normally go to that, but I thought this was pretty good information. They don't really have the maximum supply. And on coin market cap, they're, might have different cryptos that they go by. I think they should just go by market cap of all cryptos, not just on your site, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go look. The price did drop 2 cents since I opened this window. Not going to lie, but this could set us up for some kind of another double bottom. We are getting rejected on the weekly by the RSI, just as I had predicted. We are below it by less than 0.53. That's where we're at on that one. So we're super close to breaking that out. Unfortunately, it is going to be a massive area of resistance, and $17 million is not going to get us out of that level. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen with that low of volume. If we have 100 mil in one day, we will definitely, I'll call that if we get 100 mil in volume, which is absolutely crazy that people are not scooping this up at that price. Now, on the other hand, is it going to $1? Well, there is some, indicators that could say that from the top to the bottom here. You would see it about 80 cents with the golden ratio of the retracement here. I just don't see that happening unless, Definity quits doing stuff like this. They just stop working on the project. That's the only way that I can see that happening. But does it look like they're going to stop working on the project? Absolutely not. So that is the only way that I ever see ICP dropping, is if the development stops, if Definity stops, you know, supporting the community, then that is a possibility. But other than that, I'm really thinking that we hit our bottom. It is super similar to this over here. We just didn't have another big dump, because this was supposed to be the peak of the bear market. This was supposed to be the bottom of the bear market, right? The peak of the bottom, right? The V-shaped recovery. So the thing is, if you draw a line from here to here, it is a V-shaped recovery, even there to there, but it is a W. What I'm saying is this is the bottom, though. This was supposed to be the bottom. We had another test of that area over here, and then tested it here, and the SEC scam wicked us down. Scam wicked us. They got us. They did us dirty. Over here, I think. Yeah, I think it was in June. June. So this one, that's what brought us. See, we were above that level. Wow, we were above that level. And then they knocked us down, and we tried to recover a little bit. Let's go look at that exact. We're just going to look at the date. SEC Coinbase lawsuit date. June 6th. So yeah, and it was in June. And I don't know when the news came out. This says, yeah, the 5th. The 5th. The week of the 5th to the 12th. Right here. This was, so we would have recovered from here. Okay, that would have been the bottom of the market. Right? The SEC manipulated your money. They made it so where that you could lose. But on the other hand of that, they also gave you an opportunity to get in at a cheaper price. We never would have seen it go below about 350, 360. That would have been our bottom. Right now, our bottom is 280 something, because we got manipulated by the government, who said they're trying to protect our. Is this protecting our money, or did you cause our money to dwindle down? Those are the questions that we have to answer. We were above this level, right? They waited till we were below this key point and this very, very important level, and we would have broken out of that. I think we would have broken out of that right here somewhere. We had a downtrend, which was a clear bottom over here, right? We did, and this was testing that level that would have brought us down back to about 428. So that is very important to see. Right when they did it, they waited till we were under this RSI on the weekly. I don't know if that was planned, but I'm sure they have financial analysts over there, trained financial analysts, that were like, oh yeah. And I don't think it was just ICP that was under major resistance and major RSI selling pressure, right? That is what that. So, and there wasn't even that much. It was more manipulated. We could have broke back out above it. If we look here, it was at about 44.57, and we were at like 42, 43. Right? So that is absolutely predatory. We did go back up and test it over here, but we couldn't break out because they scam wicked us down. The volume is a trend, right? So there wasn't even a lot of volume for this scam wick, right? So they scammed us down without the volume because of the news, because they decided they were going to protect us. And take all of our, protect us by taking our money, making us lose money. But now, this is very similar to this over here, going back to the point. We would not have reached this area, but we need to get above this weekly EMA, the 9-week EMA, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to get an average price of above all of these 9 candles. That's what that's saying. And if we can do that, it's not going to be at the top up here at 351. It's going to be down here at 325. That's the average price of those 9 candles. So that we don't even have that far to go. We just need the volume. This RSI is going to hold us back though. This RSI is basically very in tandem with this EMA 9 on the weekly. So those are the things that you need to understand. Let's go to the smaller time frame because I want to see what it's doing right this second. We just had a bit of a dump, and you can see it's because we failed to break out of the RSI. We hit it once, hit it twice, kind of broke out, but failed to stay above it with volume on that candle. Went up and tested again, broke out. Again, this is a lot of testing of this level. So this should be able to break and sustain soon. Every time you hit that level, even if you go up and then back down, it's going to be easier to break that level. So if we hit it again with some volume, we could move up on the short-term time frame. It does look like there was an ascending triangle forming. We had a big pump to the upside here, and then somebody took profits. We were overbought here though. Anyway, so this kind of needed to happen to cool off the market. We need more people, more purchase, more buy volume. That's why as well. So we do get a lot of movement. It's just kind of crazy how some of these little volume ones push us up to the it doesn't really make sense, right? A little bit of red volume drops it, but a little bit of green volume almost brings it back to the top. That's a little bit crazy. That we shouldn't have pumped so high with that. I just don't think we should have pumped on the RSI to overbought with that little of volume. This I can see, but why the heck? Look at this candle. Look at all that volume. Look how little it moved. So look at this volume, little tiny, and it moves. Right, this one, yeah, move. It didn't even move that much. It moved like the same as the little one. You know, I don't know. It just seems really weird how that volume works on the 15-minute. I'd be weary of that. So on the hour, you can see that we did have a massive recovery today. We had a V shape and then a bounce, a test of that. It does look like an inverse head and shoulders here on the 1 hour that broke out to the upside, and it actually went a lot higher than the neckline. The neckline would have brought it to about right here, maybe even lower, maybe right here to the bottom of that. And then it just had bullish momentum, right? And this is actually a good cool off period on the 1 hour. So if we just kind of stay above this this support level, we close above here above 309.8. Then we can kind of continue this. It could turn into an ascending triangle if we stay in that possible bull flag. I wouldn't really put anything into a bull flag right now, especially in the bear market. I believe the bull market's starting. It's just as soon as we establish that consolidation, yeah, I would definitely not call that. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to turn, if we can get above this support level, I think it's going to turn into an ascending triangle here. So if we can bounce off of this and close above here, go back up and test 312. And then if we break it, even if we go sideways for the next several hours to cool off, even sideways, it's going to bring this down. It's going to let this cool off on the 1 hour because we were super overbought up here. It kind of needed to do this. Hopefully we can stay in this trend line and above that EMA 9, the 9-day or 9-hour moving average. So I think we're getting pretty close to done here. I really, is this the last fake out shakeout before the breakout? I believe we're in that time. I don't know if this is the last one because we just have so much crap that happens in the market. But look at everything that Definity's doing. Look at what for the internet computer. Look what all these developers are doing over here. They are working tirelessly. They are also the number one in GitHub commits on a lot of days. They're number one in developer activity on some days. They are just doing the most. And those are the projects that you look for. The ones that survive the bear market, the ones that survive FUD, the ones that bring value to their community and everything else. So now I can get into the comments. Maybe if I just get over here in the comments and I don't change the screen back to my face, I just kind of leave it, then I won't have to worry about that. That way I can still interact. All right. Smash that like button and subscribe. But also set alerts because we are going to share when our launch date is from our NFT collection. We are going to share the launches of our games, hopefully help promote iDark Studios some more, maybe have Stoll back on the channel or one of the team. We're going to be talking more about that. We're going to get as many people on the channel as we can, you know, in the future. So if you want to be on the channel, hit me up, renegade0264@gmail.com. You can hit me up there or on Twitter. If I follow you, then you can DM me. The real question is, how hard will it pump and will that cause a fake out? So I think the market and the volatility right now is an indicator of things to come. I think we've already seen multiple fake outs on the downside and the upside, and it kind of makes the psychology not make sense, right? It's like, so give people bipolar because the market's going up. No, the market's going down. You're feeling good. You're feeling bad. Like, no wonder everybody has bipolar. Like, and when I watch movies, they'll go from a funny scene immediately into like a sad scene so that it's like an emotion jerker, right? And no wonder everybody's bipolar. Just thought that was a coincidence. I worry about a rocket up with a large crash. That's not really what I'm worried about because that is possible in a bear market, but the most likely scenario is a rocket up with a correction, because that's the way the market works. There are big crashes, but I don't think Bitcoin is ever going below 15K again. Just like I said, I didn't think that Bitcoin was ever going to 10,000 again. And that was for this bear market, right? 15K was what I was saying as the low. That is what I'm saying for ICP right now. I really believe that this area that we hit is going to signal the bottom. So there's a lot of interesting things going on. What the heck is Hex? Hex is that Richard guy's token. Yeah, I don't really deal with that guy or his token. So fun fact for the markets today, Jeff seems like the movement is completely ignoring RSI and I hate it. Yeah, it isn't though. It's not. It seems that way, right? It does. It seems like the RSI is just completely ignoring the bullishness. And the RSI on the weekly is different, right? And if you look at the daily or the hour, you can see that the RSI reacts to volume on a small scale. The thing is, when we were in the deepest part of the, the bear market, that RSI was oversold for a long time. And getting above it was the only way that we started moving significantly to the upside. And that is why on the weekly, it seems like it ignores it. It just follows it and it gets, kind of brought under. But that's because there is a massive amount of volume you need to sustain on that full week. We get nice little 25, even sometimes $30 million pumps, but that isn't going to do it because it accumulates over that week to break that trend line of the previous 14 weeks or whatever moving average you're looking at. So that is why it seems like it just ignores the RSI. But if I think you're talking about the short term. And I agree with you on that one. The short term, like the 1 hour, the volume doesn't match. I get what you're saying now. So the volume doesn't match the RSI and the movements up, and it's kind of sketchy that way. But when you start talking about these short-term time frames, a little bit of movement, or there could be anything. It could be an exchange, that just bought more crypto, bought more ICP or something, or sold, or whatever the situation is that causes it to move that way. You might not always see it in the volume. Or it could just be bullish sentiment from the rest of the market overflowing into ICP, or bearish sentiment that affects the price in a either positive or negative way without the volume. Like you saw with the SEC candle, there was no volume, and then all of a sudden, boom, that news comes in, and there's not a lot of volume that brought it down, but the price moved significantly to the downside without the volume. So there are things that can affect the price without it actually being a technical indicator. And those are the three things we talk about: news, fundamentals, basically the ecosystem, and then your technical analysis. And those three things interact in a way with the RSI, and I guess on the short-term time frame as well. Looks like we figured it out together. So thank you. I hope everybody's doing great today as well. They're working on more direct support through NNS to donate to top projects. It's just way down the road, probably a year or two. Well, they started with the community fund, and they really supported a lot of projects. They'd give people money from the hackathons out of there, like winners. They could be part of the community fund and get their projects supported. Besides the grants, have other ways to fund these projects that actually have contributed to the network in a long-term way. Sharding off cycles earned for your favorite project is an awesome concept. Okay, so you could basically help fund other projects. Pretty interesting. There should be like a crowd fund for that, where you could like contribute to their cycles to help run the dApp to cut costs for them. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Hey, what's up, dude? It's not sticking to the RSI at support. RSI support at all. Same with Bitcoin. It's all over the place. Yeah, on the shorter time frames for sure. Who else thinks the future bull market is going to be insane because of the halving? The halving is not necessarily the catalyst that's... Okay, let me rephrase that. It is the catalyst that starts the bull market, but it is not necessarily a short-term catalyst. It is the fundamental, the fundamentals of Bitcoin that starts that, right? So why doesn't it happen right away? I can answer that question for you right now. It is because right away, the halving, the miners get half of the Bitcoin that they did from the first 4 years. That isn't going to take an effect right away to the price. Right? They only get a certain amount of rewards every 10 minutes. That's how Bitcoin works, proof of work. So, and they can only verify one block every 10 minutes. And so it only creates a certain amount of Bitcoin. So what happens is that Bitcoin is accumulated by these miners, right? And they only sell at certain times. So if you go 4 years back, they get double that amount. So double the amount gets sold and put onto the market. And that isn't going to affect the market right away because they do have a certain portion of that Bitcoin in the market, but the effect is like supply and demand. Like it grows like a snowball that rolls downhill. Over time, it's going to affect the price. It's all about supply and demand, right? So the supply is cut in half. The demand with the bull market goes up. The miners sell when, goes up. And then we have a retracement and we have a correction that drops the market back down. Then they stop selling for a while. volatile again. So even less Bitcoin is coming out onto the market. We start to pump again, and then they take profits again. And that's kind of how the halving affects the entire market. And Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin dominance, is going to, when it starts the supply dwindling and the demand going up, it's going to affect and reverberate through the entire market. So again, that's kind of cool to think about. Definitely a good comment. The Fed FUD is making it worse. That is their goal. They are very obviously they are paying people to try and just take down the crypto market. If you can't control it, burn it to the ground, right? That's the government's way. But they won't be able to. It's unstoppable. The internet computer, I mean, even Bitcoin now is unstoppable on the internet computer. That, if something happens to Bitcoin, would it be safe on the internet computer? That's a question I'd like to ask Dominic Williams. Like, I don't think Bitcoin will ever go away, though. Honestly, there's no way until 2151. Okay, 2151 is a key date because that's when all of the Bitcoin will be mined. There will be no more Bitcoin left to be mined. Now, you can get a consensus through all of the nodes. I think I researched and read about this once, that you can submit it like you do a hard fork with Bitcoin. When the community gets together and they all decide to do something, or if they don't, there will be a hard fork, and then it will separate to two different blockchains. So what happens in 2151, the supply runs out, and all the Bitcoin will be mined. So there might not even be Bitcoin that people want to sell at that point. They're just going to be holding it, and then selling maybe a little bit of it, whatever the reason would be, for profit, or, it's the main currency that they use. But they can decide as a community that, hey, we need 21 million more Bitcoin for, the next 125 years. And then we'll revisit that again. And if the network comes to a consensus, and everybody agrees that needs to, the nodes, whatever, whoever, decides on that, I'm pretty sure it's the nodes, or the miners, or it's a community. I'll definitely have to research more into how that works. But as you know, Bitcoin Cash came from that. All of these different hard forks of Bitcoin come from that. So that would be a way, either they would all come to a decision, or the community would be split and there would be a hard fork. The regular Bitcoin stays at 21 million. No more mining happens at that point. And then you have another community, Bitcoin 2035 or something, 2335 or whatever, 2376. It would be, right? So then you can have two different communities, one with the original 21 million, another one with the 21 million original, plus the other 21 million that could be added to that for the next 125 years or so. So sales tax, yeah. Retweet that. That's how the government works, though. They are getting their hands into rich people, but most of the rich people have their hands greased with the politicians already. So I think that's all we're going to have today. Great conversation. I hope you guys get out there, do your research, check out what Definity's doing. Understand that we're in a volatile time. It looks like another bottom. Who knows if more FUD is going to come out that kind of destroys the market. Look at three things. Again, the news, the ecosystem, and the technicals. If you can look at those three things, you can judge for yourself what a crypto project. Look at the white paper. Look at the project. That's what I'm saying. The ecosystem. Look at what the project is. Don't just look at the price. Don't just look at the project. And look at the world news too. And look at those three together. You'll be all right. One more bottom. I don't think, like I said, there's a huge amount of support over there at 287-ish, probably down to 275. We could push a little bit lower. A lot of people would think that, but again, it is looking like we have seen our bottom. We do have a V-shaped recovery on the weekly. We have closed candles above those $3 levels several times on the week, or at least close to that. So the chances of it could. If there's a black swan event, that's, if not, 275 is the lowest. If something, Bitcoin, goes back down to 25K, I could see us hitting a new bottom. But without more FUD and more garbage, we're good. All right, guys, that being said, goodbye and good ICP. Bang!